Although Bergdahl is now safe at home in the United States, innocent Americans are still being held overseas. American Pastor Jailed Abedini has been held in Iran since 2012 because of his Christian beliefs. With me now is the pastor's wife, Naghmeh Abedini, and her lawyer, Jordan Sekulow of the American Center for Law and Justice. All right, Naghmeh, tell us about the latest developments with your husband this week.
Good evening, Judge. There was a team of religious leaders, I believe there was 30 of them, that went to Iran on end of May, and we know that they discussed Saeed and asked for clemency for him with the Iranian government.
All right, and what happened? What was the response? Who did they meet with?
We don't know. We know they said they met with the right people, and we don't know what the response was. It was a positive trip. But for me, it's been, and my two kids, my 7-year-old and my 6-year-old, has been such an emotional roller coaster. We're hopeful that this is a good sign. This means he will be released soon. But really, we've had such an emotional roller coaster of believing that he will be home soon and not seeing much. And our tomorrow is Father's Day. It's a very painful day for the kids and I. In a few weeks, end of this month, is our 10th year anniversary. And so really the only way for me to get through this emotional roller coaster and the news, the good news, bad news, beatings, tortures, is really my faith, keeping my eyes on Jesus.
When you say beatings and tortures, he was in a hospital, but then he came out. Has he been tortured or beaten since then?
No, he did. He was, I think it was last month, he was taken from a hospital and beaten pretty badly in front of his family members, his parents who were there at the hospital with him. And he's been recovering since. His parents have been able to see him this last Wednesday, a few days ago, and he's recovering, but he was beaten up pretty badly with bruises and was not even able to get up the first week.
Prison?
No, he was beaten, taken from the hospital, and put in prison.
All right. Jordan, who were these spiritual
his family
advisors?
Visited him at the prison.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
And his family visited him at the prison a few days ago.
All right, I'm going to go to Jordan. Who were the spiritual advisors who went to Iran to try to negotiate for her husband?
The lead is Pastor Joel Hunter. We've actually reached out to him through one of our Middle East experts at the ACLJ, who does a lot of our international work, and have gotten some more information about the meeting, but he's being very private about that now because he's sharing it with the White House, President Obama. It's Joel Hunter. He's on a number of White House advisory councils. He's close to President Obama. He's given prayers at the inauguration of President Obama and done a lot of events. So he's someone that, again, it seems like the State Department blessed this judge, and that's good news because we needed more from our government. And I can tell people that over the next 2 weeks, the State Department has and is currently re-engaging this. I don't know if it took him being rearrested, but certainly there's something better happening.
Jordan, are you saying that the White House is sending the spiritual advisor to the president to negotiate for Naghmeh's husband?
I don't think that they would say it that way, but the State Department did say that they bless in a release after this became public, which was the first we had heard about it, that they do bless these kind of efforts by members of religious faiths to try and bring dialogue. So it was certainly not something they had no clue about, whether or not they directed the pastor to do this or it just so happened to be, but they gave their blessing. And for us, as we are trying to get our government and hoping that their renewed engagement by voice has led to these possibly kind of renewed efforts to actively get Saeed back before a very key date, July 20th. That's when the nuclear deal is supposed to be done. Now, that could get extended, but if we're on that schedule, we've got about a month here to really, where we're sitting across the table from the Iranians and can bring him home. And I have to thank you, Judge, for covering this.
Jordan, wouldn't you agree that it's up to the president if we're going to try to negotiate for nuclear considerations and not a religious leader who should be making these requests?
You know, sometimes what I'm hoping is they were getting a tone, a sense. This is my hopes and my prayers for what was gone here, and that when they get down to the negotiating table in the final month here, that they actually put something together. Because ultimately, what our State Department and the White House have to do is say, no deal, even if they've got everything else done, until this American is home.
Naghmeh and Jordan, thanks so much. And
Thank you,
coming
Judge.
up, a former